Galatians chapter 6, I think is verse 14. I'm wrapping up in the next few minutes. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 14. You must learn the way of the cross. But God forbid, this is Paul, that I should glory save where? In the cross of our Lord Jesus Christ. By whom what? The world is crucified unto me. And I unto what? The world. I have died to the world. And the world is dead to me. There is nothing in the hand of Satan that I want. Nothing. There is nothing that Satan has that can satisfy the craving of my soul. Nothing. You must know the way of the cross. The minute you chose Jesus, you died to the world. You submitted to the will of another king. The world no longer has control over you. So even the world should know that you have died to it. He said, by whom the world is dead to me and I am dead to the world. The way of the cross. Jesus was the one that said, if any man wants to be my disciple, his first entry point is that he must deny himself. That's what it means to be godly. You shift from being self-centered and you become God-centered. And that transition, the gate for that transition is the cross. You die to self. So while the world has a principle of self-indulgence, when you come to the cross, you begin to learn this. The principle of the kingdom is the principle of self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice. If it makes you happy, do it. Self. Everything in the world promotes self. But you turn into the kingdom and you find out that the kingdom keeps telling you self must die. Self must be buried. God must become the center of your civilization. That's how you live for the king. That's how you prepare for his coming. God is the center. In your decisions, he's the center. In your marriage, he's the center. In ministry, he's the center. Because the Bible shows us that even in ministry, something else can become the center. People can make their belly their God. You become God-centered. That's what it means to be godly. Godly. God is the one driving you. God. So when I want to pick a man to marry, I'm not looking at the sideburns. When I want to pick a sister to marry, it's not whether she looks like a Coke bottle. You put Coke, you put Fanta, is this type, is this type. No. The first place you go is to go and ask the Lord, what will you have me do? Who should I marry? Which direction should I go? Which city should I stay? Yesterday we were making a call for missionaries. And I began to remember my youth service. It's before I left my village in Delta State, a village where I was staying, a village, that the Lord told me, I'm sending you to the north as a missionary. To the north. For my youth service. I got to NYSC camp. I said I will dodge. Because only driving to the north alone, my heart started beating. I had never seen that kind of thing before. That's you are driving. You just see land and one small tree in the middle. I said, which kind of thing be this? Is this where I'm going? The bus now broke down on the road. I suffered before I got to camp the second day. Then I entered the camp. The whole road empty. I don't know what it looks like now. Only the building of a former vice president. Everything else was like a place where people are suffering. I said, no. No. I love you, Lord, but don't waste my life like this. This place, I cannot. I was now imagining where I will go and do if this place be like this and this one is civilization. Where do you want to send me? You want to kill me? So as I entered camp, I made sure I never went to any fellowship. I just stayed in my room, praying my prayer. I said, let me see how he will force me to be a missionary now. Let me see how you are going to do it. pray my prayer quietly. Then one day I went into NCCF to go and play keyboard. I said I will just play the song and run away. And while I finished praying, because I know who my king is, as I got up from the keyboard to walk out of the hall, he said, sit down there. I sat down. A young man, batch A. Then we used to have batch A and batch B only. He stood up. He said, I want to recruit missionaries. The only day I entered fellowship. May God love you like that. The only day I want to recruit missionaries. He started showing us pictures of the Juluvu people in Adamawa State. Showing us Lila, showing us Linde, showing us Gili, showing us all those villages. And tears began to fall from my eyes. You see, when we get to heaven, the celebration in heaven will not be that I arrived, though. It will be that I pleased my king. That will be the celebration. That I brought him joy. I brought him pleasure. And the easy